Okay, this is the video review for Metal Gear Rising. This is a game that is off like, a side, kind of like a side story of the Metal Gear franchise. You play as Raiden, as a cyborg, and it's just it doesn't really affect the main Metal Gear story. It's just like just a side version. It's its own little story in a way. If you want it to be like the other Metal Gear games, it's nothing like that really. There's a little bit of stealth you can do, which is you can hide in a box or an ore drum, but that's it. That's the only stealth in this game, and it doesn't really. It does kind of work in that you can actually get past enemies, but for this game, it doesn't really fit in because this is an arcade sort of game, and stealth doesn't really feel right because you're a cyborg that's really good at killing people with a sword. It's not. I'm guessing it was added in just to let people have that tiny little option of stealthing it, so you don't have to constantly fight enemies. But there is one enemy which I don't like because it constantly grabs you, which is quite good for like stealthing against. And there is also one part where it's like it's dark, where stealthing is quite handy because you can easily dispatch enemies. Other than that part of stealth, it is just an arcade game. It's a hack and slash, running through, trying to beat it fast and killing the enemies without getting hit. Because at the end of each, like, say chapter, it gives you like a ranking. So from I'm guessing it could be F. The lowest I got was, I think, C. So I got from C to S. So S is you don't get hit at all. A is you hardly get hit and you do it really fast, and you do like all the moves kind of thing. One main part of the game is you get to slice pretty much anything into little tiny chunks. It's not everything, you can't cut everything. For some reason I had a hard time cutting a cardboard box, but everything around it will kind of just cut. And also there's not as many watermelons as you think from the very early gameplay, because I've only seen like a few in one little tiny area, but it is fun to slice them. Yeah, so you get this say precise slicing, so when the enemies are really damaged and are going to die soon, then you can slice them up into little chunks. And one advantage is you get more points if you slice off their left hand or left arm bit, part of the left arm, because it's contains combat data, and then the doctor in it can actually like learn off that. But you get more points, so that's good. So your upgrades can be better. But yeah, so all the main fight is you can ninja run, which means you can run faster, and also deflect bullets with your sword when you're doing it. And then there's different like attacks. You use a sword mostly, but there are a couple of different weapons from different bosses that you can actually gain. You will, with the precising, you will actually need to learn how to precisely cut. I didn't really do this at the start. I just used the free slice with the right stick to just hack away, just to see how many slices I can get. I didn't really go for, oh, I'm going to cut his left arm off, I'm going to cut his head off. I just hacked. Really just went for it. You should, because later on you will need to precisely cut, otherwise you're probably gonna die. Just because there's like a couple of bosses that kind of need it. Well, one boss actually you could probably get away with not even doing it, but the other boss you could get around it, but there's a high chance that you could die quite easily unless you have a lot of you have the 5 like healing items, the max out. So what else is there? Okay, so the story, it isn't like one you're gonna remember loads. It's just a basic story, like, oh, there's a bad person. It adds the politics into it. It's all about the cutscenes being way over the top. Well, completely over the top. That's what this game is about. The story isn't that memorable. You're not gonna like remember for that. You're gonna remember the cutscenes. They're running down a building while dodging rockets and then jumping on rockets and cutting the crap out of things that you wouldn't think you can cut the crap out of. It's based on pretty much just giving you the big massive cutscenes. The fighting in it is quite it's fast paced, but it's not in big massive blocks. So you would fight a couple of enemies, then you have a little kind of cutscene on your little codex thing. Then you have to fight a little couple of enemies, then it's the codex thing, and then you fight a big boss, and then it's a couple of enemies, codex, a couple of enemies, codex, or cutscenes. It's not like fight, it's more fight, stop, which can get a bit annoying when you're getting into it. With them fighting, you have to learn a bit yourself. At the start there is a tutorial which does help you a bit with like the basics, like ninja running and basics of attack and knowing when your enemy is going to attack. But you get like, I think, maybe a couple of chances to actually practice blocking, which you really do need, because if you learn blocking you can easily fly through this game easily, but if you don't learn it properly you're gonna die a good few times. Yeah, so if you, like me, didn't really grasp blocking straight away, you'd have to learn it in the game yourself. You won't get another chance to really learn it. It teaches you quickly the basics. It doesn't give you everything, so it doesn't like teach you all the different combos or about like you can use combos. It doesn't even, I don't think it even shows you combos in the game, but there are different combos that you can pull off and use different moves which do different stuff. You can also buy skills which are actually combos which you would actually have to learn out yourself, because it doesn't actually tell you when you're upgrading to that skill. Okay. There's one really. I'm going to go into the sound now, which is. It's mostly good. All the sounds usually good. It's just a few bits of the voice acting, which is really. Then it's not bad. It's just doesn't seem right. It's like when the voice actor Raiden, he gets angry, which points where you think he shouldn't really be having this angry voice, which doesn't sound great. I don't think it starts to sound a bit like Snake and a bit constipated, so it doesn't really work. And there's also this other character which I will show you in the video and tell you about, which won't influence the story that much. It won't give you that much of a spoiler, but his name's George. He talks English but slanging English, and it's really annoying. And also at some points I don't think he actually sounds the age he's supposed to be. And I'll give you a stop here and like a little screenshot, but it gives you subtitles underneath what you're supposed to be saying, which you can kind of make out, but it's because it's in the English, so you should really just speak normal English and you can just listen to it and not all this crap. He sounds like a weird chav that you really just want to kill, and Raiden actually likes him, which makes it worse because you don't want him to like him because he's not even speaking English. Even though he's speaking English, it's just someone you just want to kill. Well, I want to kill anyway. Not because he's a young like teenager child, maybe, I don't know. the voice really does throw it off. But I really don't like him. He's not in it that much, but he is in it. The graphics look pretty good. It's in 720p. Obviously not on this video. That's graphics. They do look good. The cutscenes do look pretty cool and over the top, which is great. If you love that sort of thing, it's brilliant. You'll see all the nice details of him hacking and slashing and cutting people's heads and stuff off. It's really good on that. It would be nice if it was 1080p to add a bit more detail in, but you know, if you have limits on what you can do with this much over the top action, it would probably lower the frame rate a bit. In the other aspects of the gameplay, there are a good few boss battles, and the difficulty it does get harder, but at some points it does feel easier than other boss battles in different ways. Like, you got to learn how to kill them a certain way, and sometimes it does work, sometimes it doesn't work. You got to block that. When you learn their moves, it becomes a lot easier. You know how to defeat them a lot better. So if you do don't have enough say I think health rations, or I'm not sure what they're called, I can't remember, you will need them, and then after you get hit a few times, then you'll learn, oh, this is the best way to go around that move, and then you would easily defeat them. But there's one, some boss battles are easier than others, even though they should really get harder and harder. The end boss battle is well over the top, and it can be really hard if you haven't got health. So yeah, save some for the end boss. The Metal Gear is boss bit. It's a bit easier than I thought it would be, and it's a bit shorter than I thought it would. There's not as much to it, say, as when you're fighting Rex in Metal Gear Solid 1. It's just a bit quick and easy. But you are a cyborg who's got a fucking sword. It's gonna be quite easy than someone who's just a human being with rocket launchers and stuff. Yeah, so it is mostly about the boss battles. You will find little different stages of boss battles. So you will first of all just lower their health, and then it will one part will be destroyed, and then it'll move on to a different part, and then have different moves. Then you have bits where you got to press certain buttons certain times, which they do kind of work well. They're not even that hard as well, so you know you're going to be able to do them easily. Just press them at the correct time and press them rapidly. So you won't have a problem playing this game at all. It's nice and easy that way. I do recommend getting this game if you do like Metal Gear, but you also like arcadey games, because you do get to play as a cyborg ninja, which is pretty cool, and it is hacking and slashing, and also you do get to play through it with a different weapon. And if you have it in your special edition, you can have Grey Fox's outfit and his sword, but you need to save up to buy that, which is a bit annoying. But and also there is a cool armor you get through about halfway, which I won't tell you about, but Mexico has an influence on that, which is cool. Yeah, so I definitely recommend this game. I'll give it 4. Yeah, I'll give it 4, because it is good, but it's a bit short. It won't last you ages. I did it in about 6 hours in actual gameplay, not including cutscenes, because they do take quite a while of time up. Not as long as other Metal Gears, but they do take a bit of time. Yeah, and also the sound. It's just some cutscenes, and also Bloody George, the person I really want to kill in this game, which I can't. They kind of lower it for me, so I will give it 4 out of 5. Yeah, so all the ratings will be at the end of this video, so just check out, see what ratings and also the specs you need. And thanks for watching. And please like and comment.